Hi, I'm Pat Carter, Technical Trainer for Clearview. Today we're going to talk about the analog solutions, the Eagle and the Hawk, and how your end user are going to be setting those up. Let's go ahead and get started. Today we're going to talk about the Eagle. Keep in mind the two products that we do support in the analog line are the Eagle and the Hawk. First I want to talk about some of the differences between the two. The Eagle is designed primarily as a commercial grade and heavy residential grade unit. The Hawk is designed more for light residential and light commercial applications. When you get to things like integration with, for example, RTI or universal remote or Control 4, you will want to definitely use the Eagle unit. It's capable of doing 30 frames per second at D1 resolution. It's capable of supporting multiple hard drives as well as other features that will definitely make it a stronger choice for you for high-end jobs. As we take across the bundle, you're going to find right off the bat that it will come in a 4-channel unit with 4 cameras. The 4 cameras that are included in this are the BL71 as well as the TD81. When we open the box, the very first thing that your end users are going to find is a great instruction manual. It's going to cover everything that they're going to need to know step by step in setting up the unit and configuring it. These are some of the things we're going to go over today as well. The next thing you're going to find are the cameras themselves. There are 2 dome cameras again and 2 bullet cameras that come included in the box. Here's your first camera, and here's your bullet camera. Now again, these are analog cameras connected to a DVR, so you'll find the kit includes everything you need to do the setup. The idea of having an all-inclusive kit is that your end users aren't going to need to go out and buy anything extra. Everything you need for the install is right here inside the box. And here is your bullet camera. And again, you'll find that there are 2 of each. The next thing you're going to find are the Siamese cables, which are the cables that are specifically designed for your camera system. They come pre-configured, pre-crimped. So everything you need is right here on this cord. You'll notice that there are 2 ends. One end is one that goes out to the camera side and one goes to the DVR side. The one that has an indentation would be the DVR side. The one that is kind of an outward plug would be the one for the camera end. The BNC connectors or the video connectors are the yellow cords, and these doesn't really matter what side they're on. They're going to be going with the power. Again, this is a 4-channel system, so you'll have 4 cords and 4 cords. The next thing is the accessory pack. It's going to include all the accessories you're going to need for the unit. There's a power supply and a power supply cable. There's a remote control, which is going to work great for connecting the unit to, or addressing the unit as you're controlling the amount of cameras that are coming up, a 4-channel view or an 8-channel view, or pulling up individual cameras. You're also going to find a mouse. This is not a proprietary mouse. It's a standard Class A USB mouse. Very important to do when you're configuring the unit. The mouse is the easiest way to navigate around the unit itself. Now this particular unit also comes with a second power supply, and that's going to be the unit that, or the device that powers up the cameras. You'll notice that this particular is a 4-channel, so it has 4 of the ends on it. This is also good to note when you're talking about running the cable. You want to make sure you run the cable properly so that the female end, there you go, the female end of your, there we go, the female end of your cable will connect up to the male end of the power supply. This is what's going to provide power to your cameras. Okay. And of course, the power supply comes with its own power cord. Now you'll find there's some extra accessories that are in the box. You don't necessarily need them now. They're for future use. These are for your, the green connectors or your Phoenix connectors, which are used for your alarm contacts. You'll also find that there's a mounting kit, some screw downs for mounting your cameras into your drywall, as well as an additional SATA cable, which is your hard drive cable. Again, keep this for future use. You may be upgrading your hard drive at some point. You'll have this already ahead for you. The last thing that you'll find in your accessory box is a patch cable. This would be for connecting your recorder to the internet. You'll connect it to your switch or your router at the location. Let's go ahead and move this aside. And last but not least is the recorder itself. And here you are. Now you'll notice on the back of the recorder a couple of great connections to note. First and foremost are your video connections. These are going to be on the far side. This is where that cable will plug into to provide your video connection. The next ones in that you want to notice are going to be your video. You have a VGA as well as an HDMI video cable. You also have a USB in order to plug your mouse into. You have your Ethernet connection, which is used, of course, to plug it into the network. You have your power, and then these are where those green Phoenix connectors will plug in if you're going to be using alarm contacts. Let's go ahead and put all the packing materials away, and we'll start with assembling the unit. The first thing we're going to talk about is field mounting and wiring your cameras. Now, as you place your cameras around the residence or around the commercial property, take into consideration lighting and what it is you want to see. Most people want to focus on entrances and exits, so you're able to cover the most appropriate area. Also think about maybe a cash register or an area that is more susceptible to theft than anywhere else. If you're looking to safeguard something like your air conditioning unit, you may want to mount a camera directly over it. That's where you want to think about placement of your units. Connecting is very, very easy on an analog system. On the camera, you have two connections in the back of it. One is for power, and the second is for your video. It's called a BNC connector. The cable that you've ran throughout your house, again, already has the connectors on pre-made on the end of the cable. Hopefully, you've run the male end of the power cable to the location where your camera is going to be. The male end of the power is going to plug directly into the female end of the power on the camera end, just like so. And then the video, the BNC connectors are going to connect just like so. Very similar to a television video connection. It's a standard BNC connector. You just plug it in and give it a little twist to secure the connection. It's always a good idea to give it a little wiggle once you're done to make sure that it's fully seated. On the DVR end, there's a couple of connections we want to plug in. First and foremost will be the power. Remember before, there are two power supplies. One has a single power end on it, and the other one has multiple power ends. The one with the single would be the one for the recorder. The one with the multiples would be the one that's powering up your unit, or would be the one that's powering up your cameras. First thing we're going to do is plug in our power. The next thing will be the HDMI, so we can see our video. Next will be the USB connection for your mouse. And at this point, you should see the display come up on your monitor itself. Again, the very first thing that's going to launch will be the wizard, and you can certainly cancel out of it temporarily just by hitting cancel. Now, as we bring the cameras online, we're going to first, again, plug the power in, and then secondly, back at the head unit, you want to plug the power back into your power supply for your cameras, just like you did in the field. And then you're going to take your video, and you're going to plug it in directly into the back of the DVR unit. Within a couple of seconds, the camera will adjust, and you will be able to see exactly. Once your camera adjusts, you'll be able to see the image coming from the DVR, or coming from the camera to the DVR. Let's go ahead and connect the rest of the cameras now and see what they look like all together. Now again, you're going to want to push the BNC connector all the way in to make sure it's fully seated, and you should at this point be able to see the video on all of your cameras. Well, that was it. It's plug and play as it gets. Again, Clearview is a clear choice because of the 7-year warranty, the unlimited lifetime support, and thank you very much for your time and have a wonderful day.